May the 30th is basically going to be their last day supporting Multiversus. So it's unfortunate. They basically saying that you're gonna get season 5, you're gonna get Lola Bunny, you're gonna get Aquaman, you're gonna get this last update, and then basically after May 30th, that's it. The only way you can play the game is online. So I mean offline. So basically the game is gonna be basically dead. Because typically they say a game isn't. A lot of people say there's only a dead game is only dead if there's literally zero people playing it. And well, if you're going to take it offline, I mean, if you're going to take it offline, I mean, virtually there's no way to connect with other people to play. So the only way you're playing it is just like basically old school. You put the game in the system and you're playing it by yourself, or you invite some friends over. And we know that's basically like, I mean, foreign nowadays. That's an ancient art. So multiple different reasons why this happened. You know, them changing the game. A lot of people, well, they changed the game from based on how the beta came out to when it re-released. A lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people didn't like they took that break period. A lot of people didn't like how they monetized the game. Different reasons, but we'll go ahead and give it over to the panel. How you guys feeling about this Multiversus platform fighter that came out and was supposed to be the Smash rival? If not, hopefully a lot of people was thinking the Smash killer, but you know, once again, Daddy Smash stays on top. So, how you guys think about this? Starting with you, Mr. Gamer.
Well. What a tangle web we weave. Don't say I called it, but I called it. This game and another game, Nick Backyard Brawl. Both games. I mean, I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm just keeping it a buck, man. Like so if you want to get into the arena to compete with Smash at this point, because honestly, nothing's gonna kill Smash. Let's just be honest about that. Unless Nintendo kills it. Unless there's just some game that comes out, it's a unicorn. The most successful game that's like a Smash like right now is Brawlhalla. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think Brawlhalla was gonna still be around as popular as it is, but it has stood the test of time. It's unique enough, and people seem to really love the game. It has a really dedicated fan base and a competitive scene. We saw it with PlayStation All Stars. They came in and slipped on a banana peel. They tried, they failed. So now Warner Brothers is like, hey, we have a wealth. It's the crazy thing about it. I was watching a Black Okage video. He mentioned, he's like, if there was one chance, a shot that you had to be able to get a game that had the IP ammunition to compete with Smash Brothers and their vast cast of characters, it would have been Warner Brothers. Like, man, I would have loved to have seen Neo in this game. This game, they could have put so many characters in this game. But first of all, you can't lead with your pockets. And then when I say this, when this game first came out, right, when they first released it, $100,000 at Evo, I knew it was dead in the water then, because you're leading off with your wallet, and that's not how you do it. You make sure the game is solid first. You make sure it's a good experience. You make sure it's something that people actually want to play, right? Because what happens when you do this 100K tournament, and then the game is like, oh, people realize this game is not that good. Nobody's going to want to play anymore. I mean, are you just going to keep throwing around that type of money? If you just throwing around, maybe they'll play then, but not because it's a good game. And it's unfortunate because something like this could have been cool, but I just, from the jump, I just had no faith in this game. I never took that. I never took that side off. I was always on that stance. It just didn't look fun to me. It just didn't look. It just looked like, bro, like this is what y'all trying to compete with Smash with. And on top of that, you take the game down. People that have already put money into the game, you're taking away stuff they bought, right? And then you bring the game out again at a later time, worse than it was before. I don't know what you expected, but this is WB, and WB's been taking some L's. MK,
terrible
Suicide Squad, this game.
Oh yeah,
we don't know what's gonna happen. What's up with the Wonder Woman game? That WB just. And I really think it's just the people at the top that don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what's going on, and they're making decisions and they're killing that studio. I just don't get it. I don't get it. So it's unfortunate to see this game basically just being sunset soon. But I'm just not gonna say I didn't see it. I saw this from the jump. You have games when you want to start a game being competitive and you lead with that. Again, you make a great game first, and then people will decide, hey, we want to keep playing this game and make a scene for it. You let that happen organically. You don't just be like, this is a competitive game and you guys are going to play it. We got a red screen, a red side, we got a blue side. So it's competitive. Final Fantasy also learned their lesson the hard way too with NT, Dissidia. Oh, this is going to be a competitive game. What happened to that game? It's dead as well. So, yet again, another live service game that we add to the coffin from 2024, because 2024 had a lot of live service games that just died because of this same thing. So, it's unfortunate. I don't want to see games like this fail. It could have been a really cool thing with some cool characters, but when you lead off with the wrong way, hey, I don't know what to say, man. That's all I got, man. What you got, Mr. E Mason?
Well, a couple of things for you go, E. One, a lot of people came out and they were saying like it was Tony's from Player First. It was like his fault that the game was bad. A lot of people were saying he was the one that was making the bad decisions and stuff. He came out and basically said it wasn't him, because he was a game director. He basically came out and said it wasn't him. I mean, what he's supposed to say? Even if it was, and what was he gonna come out on Twitter and be like, "Yeah, I did it, I killed it," and what, like I'm sure he want to continue on in the industry. So what he supposed to say? Like, it was me, I did it. Like, so. And then another thing, if you remember Riot, it was rumors that Riot was actually going to come out with a game called Pool Party, their own platform fighter, but they saw how bad Multiversus was doing, and they basically canceled their whole game and said they wasn't even gonna come out. Like, bump it, we'll just keep on with Project L. But go ahead.
I don't. I mean, I would have liked for it to have done well. I really did. I was really hoping that it was going to be a good game. They had all of the makings, because I've said this on Facebook. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl or whatever came out before Multiversus, and you basically, if you look at that game and you say, oh man, they did everything they could to not have a good game. Basically, like that game was like
talking about that game though.
We're talking about it.
They tried twice.
Just what I'm saying. It's like
saying we talking about Multiverses though.
The one that was. I know how you feel about Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, but listen, man, like, how you gonna have a game that did basically all of this stuff completely wrong, and you're just like, all right, cool, man, hold my drink, bro, because I can find new and more creative ways to screw up, and that's what Multiversus did. And unfortunately, I mean, they came out with like the characters with voices and everything. Like, the game looks slick. I mean, they had like some pretty interesting. I thought the Tom and Jerry combo in the game, I was like, oh man, I get to play as Tom and Jerry. I was hyped. But then, like, when I actually played the game, I was like, wow, you know what? I'm not feeling it. I didn't really like the game like that. And I tried. I really tried, believe me. I even wanted to play like with because like they had Bugs Bunny and then LeBron James. So I'm like, oh man, you could do like the whole like Space Jam 2, a new legacy type team up kind of thing. And I'm like, even then, man, it's like Mr. Gamilo said, leading with your pockets and everything. It's like, yeah, did you bother to make sure that it was a good game before you started trying to basically bribe people into coming out here and playing your game? It just seemed like they made a whole lot of missteps, and it's not necessarily like the only game that the WB's misstepped on. Like you said, MK1, Suicide Squad, and like basically like at least we've gotten signs of life from MK1 a little bit from Ed Boon. But as far as like Suicide Squad is concerned, that game's done. That game is like done. And yeah, that game's done. And so, and if Ed Boon hadn't come out and said anything about like basically like continuing on, I would have assumed that MK1 was in the same casket. So, and then you could just add Multiversus to the pile. So it's like, in terms of like their games of late, especially like you're saying, the live service games that they've come out with, it just hasn't been working for them. So I don't know, man. Multiverses might not. It might. It doesn't seem like it's an isolated incident. It seems like it's a pattern of behavior with like WB games right now. So like, who knows, man? Hopefully, like the next game they come out with is either at least enjoyable for everybody because I don't know personally the faith is low right now.
Yeah, I've been seeing people online basically saying like, "Hey, that Wonder Woman game, y'all can keep it. I don't trust y'all no more." Um, but yeah, people are just coming out and saying like, "Hey, man, like just anything WB got coming out, we already just we looking at you sideways." Somebody put out a tweet that basically summed it up pretty well on why this game didn't do as well. And he said spending $100 on a beta that ends up turning into a completely different game on release. I mean, that basically like sums it up. It was, I mean, if you remember when Multiversus was in that beta phase and they was spending and they was getting people to spend so much money on it, a lot of people was confused. It's like, but it's a beta. Why am I putting $100 and some into a beta?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what am I doing? It's a beta. You're supposed to release that. And as E is giving me a hint of what the game is gonna be like, why are you offering me stuff to buy in a beta phase? But then a lot of people was doing it because they was hyped for the game. It was so much hype for the game. People was just like, man, I mean, if it's gonna come out like this, like let me go ahead and invest my money and be set for when it come back out. And that's the thing, like when they decided they was gonna take it down, a lot of people was looking at it sideways because like, hold on, y'all. You basically saying the game is going offline. I already spent this much money on it. Like you disappearing like this seemed like something is wrong. Like to just do it like this. Like I want to trust you, but you leaving? I already gave you my money. You know. So basically, what people were saying what happened was like, I mean, they had 150,000 concurrent players at one time. Some people were just saying they expected it to be successful, but that was just a lot, and they wanted to go back, fine tune some things, get some stuff together. So we wanted to have hope for them, and Tony put out the message basically saying we was doing it for this, and what they gonna do, the stuff they gonna say. But then next thing you know, it come out a totally different game, bro. That's like Street Fighter. You paying 100 and some bucks for Street Fighter 6. The next thing you know, 2 months later, they just like, hey man, we having some issues. Like we gonna take it down offline, but I promise we gonna be back. The next thing you know, they come back and it's basically Street Fighter 5 2.0. It's like, hold on, like I know I spent my money on this. I know I spent my money on this on the game that I liked, and then you go come back and give me a totally different game. So, it's kind of understandable why people just kind of felt the way that they were. And then, it seemed like at this time, it seemed like it's the same thing with MK. People talk about the predatory the monetization practices. It's like, it seemed like they just can't get away from that. But WB was being honest. They basically saying, look, man, we taking financial hits. We only focused on these games. And I mean, they sold it like it. I mean, in MK, like we were saying, I mean, $5 just for a voice. I mean, they moved like they needed the money. So I mean, it's just unfortunate. I mean, it's more you could say the people who like really, really, really was in depth with the community and followed like Multiversus heavy. They say a lot of things, but really that sums it up. They basically gave you a game that you love, took it away, brought it back. It was a different game, and then on top of that, you had to deal with different monetization practices that people were. It's like I'm already playing something that ain't what I wanted, and then like for me to go further in it, you making me feel like you jipping me out of my money. It's basically what it was. So it's unfortunate. I mean, I've seen people online basically saying at this point it seemed like platform fighters, like if it just ain't gonna be smashed, it's seeming like it's just the done. Hopefully that's not the case. I mean, we still, got other like Brawlhalla and stuff like that, but I don't see. I mean, this was the one game with the notoriety that could possibly have done it that people love, but it's like they just shot themselves in the foot. I don't know why they think they could just change it and think it'd be better, but it is what it is. So, anybody else got anything to
Um, yeah, man. I let's hope. I don't know if they're going to get the message, man. But going forward, maybe WB needs to take a step back and maybe maybe use a more hands-off approach going forward with their video games, because right now everything that they tend to stick their big noses into, it just ends up like not going well. And it's like I- it just seems like their main focus is financial, monetary, and it shows. And I'm like, okay, fine, you're broke, I get it, but I mean, it's like, okay, fine, you need money, okay, fine, but like, at least
Broke,
like
just
make me,
say that.
yeah, if you broke, just say that, man. Like, I mean, we'll understand. It's okay, man. It's like I've been there, bro. Like, I've been there. It's okay to admit, hey, man, I need a little help, guys. Whatever. Like, it's okay. But for you guys to do what you've been doing with these games, because it's not like you're taking like IPs that are like people that, like, especially with Mortal Kombat, right? You're taking an IP and you're like basically trying to shove all this stuff into it that is going to generate you some cash without any regard as to how it actually affects the end product. So it's like, yeah, man, like, we're gonna make a whole lot of money, but then, yeah, cool, like, you might make a couple dollars like after you like release the game for a little bit, but then people are gonna get hip to what you're doing, and then they're gonna be like, hey, wait a minute, these guys just cheated me out of like $300. It's just not gonna work, man. And also, in regards to like platform fighters, Brawlhalla is a good game. I actually, like, a few years ago, I actually talked to and played with one of the devs, and it's like a group of people who like really are like, are like players who seem really invested and interested and like dedicated to making a good game. To like, doing fine tuning and tweaking and getting other people who are passionate about the game to help them make a better game. So I don't know where Multiverses went wrong, 100%, like, especially in regards to the way that the game itself works. But you guys got to get back to doing stuff like that, because at this right now, it just seems like you guys are trying to just, like, WB as a whole is trying to like shovel out the same product with a different coat of paint in different game genres, man.
Man, he just said it when he just mentioned that those people, they play the game, they're players, they're passionate about the game, they want to enjoy the game, they also want other people to enjoy the game. Those are the people that you should give the creative freedom to actually make your games better. Because at the end of the day, you want a game that's fun, you want a good experience for the consumers, right? That's how I don't understand how this concept has become lost and so foreign that if you make a good game, people are going to buy the game. You don't have to nickel and dime people. You don't have to give some gimmicks or stuff. Make a fun game. This has been throughout the history of gaming. You make a fun gaming experience, people will buy it. People will say, hey man, this game was fun. You play this? Oh yeah. No, I hadn't played it yet. Let me go buy it. Oh, that game was fun. Hey, did you play this game? That's how it works. But it's like trends, like, I don't know why trend setting sometimes is a good thing, but when you follow trends too much, you sometimes often realize, this trend might not be as dope as I thought it was. All this live service monetization, battle pass stuff, Fortnite, that's an anomaly. Games like that can do that. First, it's a free to play game and it offers a lot of. I mean, at this point, Fortnite is just like Mugen. It's a platform. It's
Yeah.
become Roblox. It's got all types of game modes and stuff like that. But when you see these other companies trying to, again, we mentioned Suicide Squad. This is also part of WB. What did that game have? Live service. When I saw it, it was literally Fortnite. So they're trying to follow these trends, and it's like those games didn't need those trends. I know people didn't like Suicide Squad a lot because it was like, we finally get a Justice League game, and who do we not play as? The Justice League. So
Justice
that was
League.
one thing, but also the fact that this game was like just a rushed, like, hodgepodge of just shooting. You have Captain Boomerang, who uses an SMG. Oh, what's the boomerang? Oh, I have a SMG. King Shark, who uses a gun. Well, I'm King Shark. I don't stuff like that. And with multiverses, and again, I'll go back to Nick All Stars. Is pulling on the heartstrings of people. You get these IPs and these characters. People, oh, I love SpongeBob. I love this character. I got to get that. And of course, with children, parents see their children. Oh, they want to play that, and then they don't realize, oh, I'm buying a bad product. Nick, they tried twice. Very, very fast. Well, I might add, they tried twice. First game didn't have voices. I'm like, how could you even fathom bringing out a Nick platform fighter with these unique and very beloved characters with their voices and their voice lines and not giving them voices? Did y'all not think? Did anybody in the office say, "Hey, I think we should pull this back until we got voices on the game because it makes no sense to have characters like SpongeBob and stuff with no voices. It literally makes no sense." Like, I don't know.
Basically, made you feel like the game wasn't even official. Like a fan could have made it.
That's it. And it's like when it comes to these platform fighters, there's other notable platform fighters. Rivals of Aether. Rivals of Aether is a good game, but a lot of the times these games get pushed to the wayside, of course, because Smash is such a monolith. It's just such a colossal game in the platform scene, and it'll probably never be dethroned from that title. But that it's a good game. You got, of course, Brawlhalla. Like I said, it's one of the biggest ones that's still going strong. What's another one that was pretty decent? You had one game, they kind of tripped over their shoelaces. I think it was called Icons. It was a pretty fun game, but they did some weird stuff with like making you pay for like just to play online or something. I'm like, bro, I'm on PC. Why are you making me pay to play online? There's another one like if I'm on PSN or Xbox, okay, I get a subscription, but I'm literally on PC. That's been one of the things about on PC. You don't pay to play online because you're on a PC that has access to the internet.
Right.
There's a new game coming out called Combo Devils, I believe. I don't know if it's out yet, but it looks pretty interesting. It's like they're combining like the platform fighter with like a 2D traditional style, like with meter, like focus attack type stuff. That looks pretty cool. But yeah, man, it does seem like there's a lot of just like cash grabs coming into like the platform fighter scene. Will we ever see a PlayStation All-Stars 2? Probably not. But again, like I said, man, WB, when I saw them lead with that 100K tournament, I knew it was over. Because I said, y'all are focused on the wrong things. You're going to monetize the heck out of this game, which they did. And how in the world do you take a game and supposedly fix it and you make it much worse? You made it feel like a beta before outside the beta. And just like Rex Match mentioned, why am I paying this much money in the beta? I've never seen that. What beta have you played where you're like, oh, there's items to purchase? Wait, in a beta?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they really sold this like they sold you on like this the next big thing, bro. Like you might well go get your money and it just sounds like a straight. I mean, it just I hate to say this, but it sounds like one of them scams. Like, man, you want to hop on this early, man, because I'm telling you, when they get here, the next thing you know, you give me $100, and then it's like, hello. So basically, a lot of people now they upset about Multiversus because a lot of people bought their Founders Pack, which was $100, and then next thing you know, it was like, hey, we gonna give you 30 character tokens and 3,500 gleaming. 30 character tokens. You tell me if I buy this, I get 30 characters for the free ski. And then a lot of people were basically saying, so basically now they saying they shut it down. It's like, well, shoot, I want my money back. I paid $100 to get 30 something characters, and then they're like, well, it's 35 characters in the game already. It's like, but 6 of the characters were free. I didn't have to use my tokens for. And then on top of that, like, it's like 20 some other characters that's already in the game and everything. But it's like, still at the end of the day, it was my choice on what I wanted to redeem them on. You can't sit there and just be like, here go your 30 characters. Here go your 30 tokens. You can use it on whatever characters you want. And then basically tell me like, well, when we going down, it's close to 30 in the game, so you kind of got your money. It's like, no, I had the choice. You were supposed to live, bro. You told me I was gonna get 30 characters for the free. I spent $100 and you dipping with my money. And they just basically hitting you with the and disappearing. Right. So basically, everybody who bought that Founders Pack, I mean, I hope you just went on ahead and just blew it all on the characters that they had already. But still, you would minimum have like at least 2, 3, 4 tokens left. Because like I said, they gave away 6 for free and there's 35 in the game. So, and then too, it's like not every character that's gonna come out, I'm not gonna want. Like, what if I didn't want Aquaman? What if I don't want Aquaman? I'm not interested in Aquaman. What if I don't want the little witch girl that came out with Raven? What if I don't want her? Like, well, I mean, it's 30 something already, man. Yeah, people fought 30 hot. it's like, bro, like I you basically sold me that this game was gonna be the next bee's knees, took my money and dipping.
Yeah.
But
I want to say one last thing. I've said this on the podcast before, and I'm probably gonna keep hearing me say this from time to time. Gamers, please be more educated. Notice patterns and look at stuff when you see games, and don't just fall into this. Oh, it's got Tom and Jerry. It's got Foghorn Leghorn. I'm gonna play. I can play with LeBron. Hey man, he got my money. Like, just pay attention, man. Y'all that bought their founders pack for a game that had no foundation. Just think on that. You bought a founders pack for a game that didn't have a foundation, and your money just fell through the ground.
hey, Foghorn Leghorn got me though.
Yeah.
That Jerry, that Tom yell probably got people too.
Yeah. No. I was like, oh man, and they did like I was like, oh man, this is gonna be cool, man. I don't know.
Hopefully they can sell those founder pack tokens on the black market somewhere.
Yeah, right. Because like, here's the thing is like, so the whole thing with like the founders pack is like, how is anybody this is just me, like, how's anybody supposed to going forward look at like somebody else say, hey man, we got a founders pack for our new game and feel good about paying like $50 to $100 for a founders pack for anything ever again? Like, I was one, like I've said this before. I think I was one of the people that kickstarted Mighty Number 9. So it's like,
I'm sorry.
As you can imagine, yeah. I mean, you know what? Like, I believed him. I really believed KG Inafune. I believed him, and yeah, I like, I was looking at the stuff like in the the screenshots. I was like they gave us like the what's called like the beta game or whatever, and I'm playing it. I'm like, oh boy, this was kind of rough. I'm like, well, surely it won't look like this when the actual game comes out. And then like a million years later, when the game finally came out, like it's like, oh my God, this looks just like that 10th game they gave me like a year ago. What is this? And so, I mean, like as a result, man, I never kickstarted another game after that. I was done. My faith in that was completely destroyed because you gotta understand, bro. It's not like he just said, oh, I'm making a game, give me money. It's like he went on, if anybody out there remembers, he made a video tugging at your heartstrings about like, oh man, Mega Man, and that was like really important to me. And now like that phase of my life is over, and but now we're looking forward to the future, and like we're making a new system, and we got all these people working on it at the same time, all these like giants in the industry working on it, and now we're going to make Mighty Number 9. Oh, and then everybody's like, oh my God. And then they came out with that video. They came out with a video of what the game was supposed to look like. And I'm like, oh my God, which looks nothing like the game that we got. And it's just, it was horrible, man. Like that's terrible. No, like, I could if some of y'all out there are snake bit by this, and you'd be like that once bitten twice shy, and you see somebody else come out with a founders pack and you think twice, don't worry, that's natural. Believe me, I've been traumatized as well. You're not alone. Second thing is that these like corporations and stuff have really got to stop, man. This isn't a fast food, bro. You cannot go out here and try to make a McVideo game. Like it's not the way it works. It's like it's some like the McVideo game, like just push it out there, like Mr. Gamerlove just said. You have a IP for Suicide Squad, and it's like, oh yeah, Captain Boomerang using an SMG. Really? That's his main weapon? Think
His
about
weapon
that.
is in his name.
Yeah, he's literally Captain Boomerang. Come on, bro.
Gun, though.
I'm like, yo, it's like you basically just said, oh man, you know what? Forget all. We're not going to make him unique. We're just going to be like, all right, give him a gun and throw him out there. That's Suicide Squad, bro. Like, come on, dude. Like, Even when they had Jai Courtney in the in the movie playing him, he used boomerangs. He used boomerangs, bro. Even if you just had him throw boomerangs and have him come back to him when he catches, I would have been happy with that. Like, that's not even the bare minimum. You just took a what's called a McSoldier with a submachine gun and then slapped a Captain Boomerang skin on him and said, "Look, this is Captain Boomerang. Play our game." That's what happened. So I'm sorry, man. Like, this McVideo game stuff has got to stop, bro. It's got to stop. It's killing me, bro, and it's killing them too. Like, you're not making money off of this. Everybody's gonna hate you. That what's called thing from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Everybody hates me. Well, that's not true, little dude. And then Raphael's like, no, wait, no, I hate him. That's everybody. Everybody's gonna feel like that about you